We begin on the NBA hardwood. It's been a memorable recent tear for Kemba Walker. The Bronx native spent last weekend dropping 60 points in a tough loss to Philadelphia. Monday night, Walker made sure his standout performance would be accompanied by a win. Walker had 43 points on 14 for 25 shooting, and the Hornets had a 117-112 victory that vaulted them back to 500 on the season. He had the game winner. Kemba has been on a tear so far this season. He dropped 60 points in that loss in overtime to the Sixers on opening night of the season. He had 41. He's also had 4 games with 30 or more. All told, he leads the league in scoring average with 29.6 points per game and shots from the field with 21.6. These big nights have become mini spectacles, enough to give Charlotte, a team without much talent, league pass priority. Walker is looking like those UConn days in the Big East tourney all over again. The NFL world is still buzzing over the Monday night football game. The matchup between the Kansas City Chiefs and the LA Rams made multiple entries into the NFL record book as the Rams won an epic battle 54-51. The highest scoring game in Monday night football history saw a back and forth contest that ended with the Chiefs becoming the first team in NFL history to score 50 or more points and lose. The 105 combined points, which blew past the lofty over-under of 64 set by sports books, was the third highest total ever for an NFL game, surpassed only by the Washington Redskins over the New York Giants, 72-41 back in 1966, and the Cincinnati Bengals over the Cleveland Browns, 58-48 in 2004. KC may have lost, but Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes became the first to throw 6 touchdown passes in a Monday night game. What a performance for him. In the same breath, Mahomes is the first player with 5 passing touchdowns and 5 turnovers in a game since Gus Frerotte in 2000. No surprises there, of course, in defeat. In college football this weekend includes some biggies. Michigan at Ohio State gets rolling Saturday at noon on Fox. Oklahoma will be at West Virginia tonight at 8. Notre Dame is at USC Saturday at 8. Auburn will also be at Alabama Saturday earlier in the day. That game kicks at 3:30. Speaking of heavy hitter matchups from the Lynx, 2 players easily recognizable by just one name, Tiger, Phil. The matchup is finally here today at 3 p.m. Tiger Woods will take on Phil Mickelson in Las Vegas as they finally get set to play in a made-for-TV $9 million winner-take-all match at Shadow Creek. I'm going with Tiger with the money on the line. If you're looking for a movie to see this holiday weekend, look no further than Creed 2, which opened midweek. The American sports drama co-written by Sylvester Stallone is the sequel to the 2015 Creed and the 8th installment in the Rocky film series. It stars Michael B. Jordan, Sylvester Stallone, and Dolph Lundgren, among many others. The film follows Adonis Creed training in order to defeat the son of Ivan Drago, the powerful athlete who killed his father in the ring more than 33 years prior. Excited to see that. I passed up on an advanced media screening on Monday Arena. Busy time of year for us, of course. Now I have to buy tickets like everyone else. Apparently, Michael B. Jordan really believes he can box now, making Rocky-like challenges. All-time great boxer Roy Jones Jr. accepted the actor's challenge to the boxing veteran, telling the Creed star that will make it happen. TMZ reported on Tuesday morning. Jones is 49, Jordan is 31. I'll still take Jones in a boxing matchup. Speaking of old guys that can still fight, mixed martial arts legends and longtime rivals Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz will officially meet for the 3rd time on Saturday, this time in Las Vegas. Golden Boys signed Liddell, 48, and Ortiz, 43, to promotional agreements in July. The trilogy fight will air on pay-per-view. It is Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy's first venture into MMA. For Ortiz, it's an opportunity for last-ditch redemption as Liddell knocked him out in both of those other meetings. Open quote, "I would have never come back," close quote, he says, only for Chuck. From the hot stove, Seattle Mariners and the Bronx Bombers, they completed a trade on Monday that sends ace left-hander James Paxton to New York for 3 prospects, including top-rated left-hander Justice Sheffield. The other 2 prospects going to Seattle are outfielder Dom Thompson-Williams and right-hander Eric Swanson. Paxton, who turned 30 this month, has spent his entire career with Seattle. He went 11-6 in 28 starts last season with a 3.76 ERA. And his 208 strikeouts ranked 9th in the American League. He threw a no-hitter against Toronto on May 8th. Texas Rangers third baseman Adrian Beltre is calling it a career after 21 seasons. The star is hanging up his cleats in a statement in which he thanked his family, friends, agents, former teammates, and Tommy Lasorda, Beltre, who will turn 40 in April, said it's simply, quote-unquote, time to call it a career. The native of the Dominican Republic is a strong candidate to make the Hall of Fame. His 3,166 hits rank 16th all-time and are among the most for foreign-born players as he passed Ichiro for that distinction this past season. Beltre is a four-time All-Star selection, winning 6 Gold Gloves and 4 Silver Slugger awards, while also compiling 477 homers, 1,707 RBIs, and a career .286 batting average. Only thing missing from his resume, a World Series ring. Time for some quick hitters. If you thought your family was dysfunctional over Thanksgiving, you should see what's going on in the Washington Wizards locker room. The Wiz fined All-Star guard John Wall for unloading a verbal barrage at coach Scott Brooks in a recent practice session, according to league sources. After teammate Jeff Green and Brooks pushed Wall and the Wizard teammates to raise their level of intensity in practice last week, Wall fired back with that not-so-nice F word toward his coach. Wall apologized to Brooks shortly afterward and to his teammates the next day. The disconnect between Wall and the team has increased throughout the Wizards' struggles, league sources have said. Washington is well below 500 and underachieving this year. Every Wizards player, including Wall and Bradley Beal, is available in trade talks, according to reports. Wall has a big contract, but maybe the Knicks would be interested. On the ice, the New York Islanders will skate in New Jersey today. The Devils host the Isles at 4 p.m., fresh off their second meeting with the New York Rangers in a week. Broadway Blue Shirts are in Philadelphia today for a 1 p.m. puck drop on the holiday weekend. From the MLS, New York Red Bulls continue their postseason hunt. They take on Atlanta at 5 p.m. Sunday. On the NBA schedule, of course, locally, the Nets will host Minnesota today at noon. They will also host Philadelphia Sunday at 6. The Knicks will host New Orleans tonight at 7:30 and travel to Memphis Sunday. On the local college hardwood, Fordham will host Alabama A&M. On the men's side Sunday, the Fordham women are in Florida for the weekend. Manhattan men's basketball is at George Washington Saturday. That game gets underway at 4 p.m. The Iona men will be in Providence Saturday. That game also starts at 4. The St. John's men are gearing up for Maryland Eastern Shore on Tuesday. And of course, in motorsport, this is the final weekend of Formula One. Abu Dhabi is up next on the schedule. Mercedes leads the team rankings and is followed by Ferrari. Mercedes can take the clean sweep following Lewis Hamilton's individual title. On the NFL gridiron, the New York Jets are home Sunday, welcoming rival New England to MetLife for a 1 p.m. kickoff. The Giants, meanwhile, are in enemy territory. They face the defending champion Eagles Sunday in PA at 1 p.m. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for how the Giants can run the table and make the playoffs. I pleaded with all of you to give the Giants a chance. I did it for weeks, and then finally when I decided enough was enough, the G-men have given me a reason to believe this holiday season. Now, I understand wins over San Francisco and Tampa Bay aren't much to get that excited about, but the reality is, before these last 2 weeks, did you even think Big Blue could beat anyone? A dip in the quality of the opponents on the schedule, some changes to a now gelling offensive line, and emphasis on pounding away on the ground with rookie star Saquon Barkley, and the resulting Eli Manning resurgence has the Giants thinking possibilities. The Niners and Bucks are a combined 5-15, but I'm jumping back on my Big Blue bandwagon, folks. Why not? That's what fans do. The NFC East is bad, and the G-men are riding a 2-game winning streak heading into Sunday's game against the slip-sliding 4-6 Eagles at Lincoln Financial Field. The Giants are not in it exactly, but they're also not out of it entirely, and this is more than you could have hoped for when losing was all that the Giants knew. No division in the NFL has a first-place team with as poor a record as the 6-4 Washington Redskins, and they just lost their starting quarterback for the remainder of the season. The G-men will have to beat Philly, Washington, and Dallas along the way, but none of these teams are really all that great, even if the Giants aren't either. I know Big Blue fans started thinking draft early, but it's possible Manning and company have another run in them. Former Giants star Victor Cruz, now a TV analyst, seems to think so. Maybe he's biased, as 2011 Giants did the same thing. Perhaps these 2 wins will be just that, 2 wins in a lost season. But for the first time this year, aside from maybe the opening week, I have hope that the Giants have found the answer. And hey, in sports, anything can happen. Why not one more Big Blue run for the G-men? That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.